What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we've got a Chicago Bulls and Minnesota Timberwolves injury update to provide for you guys as we look at our upcoming game against each other. And it's a long injury list for the Chicago Bulls and not in a good way. So we'll be discussing these injuries for the Bulls and for the Timberwolves in this video. Before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, their injuries, and as well as, do you believe that this gives us a chance to win against Minnesota? I believe the Timberwolves are going to be on the second night of a back-to-back, so that could play into our favor, but they are fairly healthy, and they're going to be coming into this game most likely fairly healthy, as the only injury that is on their injury report from ESPN is Jalen Clark. He was out for the game against the Dallas Mavericks, and I believe since it's a back-to-back situation, it doesn't necessarily suggest that he'll be out for the Bulls, but I'm assuming he'll be out for the Bulls as well. His status is listed as out. So yeah, that was a while ago actually. So that I just think ESPN don't update the injury reports at this point. I think they update the Bulls ones and they just don't update other teams. That's how I kind of view it. But yeah, a very disappointing thing to see for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But at the end of the day, they're going to be coming into this game pretty healthy. I mean, they should have Karl-Anthony Towns, they should have Rudy Gobert, they should have Anthony Edwards, they should have Mike Conley, they should have the stacked bench that they do. It's not going to be an easy game for the Chicago Bulls. And of course, if any of the guys I'm about to list for the Bulls miss this game, it could become a little bit harder. Let's start off with Tory Craig. He's listed as probable to play against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Probable is a 75% chance likelihood he will play this game. Now, the foot issue is probably in relation to the injury that he sustained a couple of months ago. He did return against the Sacramento Kings. He looked good from my eyes, at least, against the Sacramento Kings, and it's something that I don't really have too much of an issue with, and I do believe he will play against the Timberwolves. This is probably just a precaution listing, if anything. So again, it's important not to rush him back. There's no need to rush anybody back from this Bulls team in my eyes. We already have enough injuries as it is. We don't need to aggravate or make worse any other injuries. But again, I don't really have many doubts in my mind that Tory Craig will be playing this game. But then we move on to Dalonte Terry. With his ankle issue, he is listed as probable to play against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is excellent news. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys watched how Dalonte Terry got injured, the pain that he was in, the way that he reacted, and the fact that he could not put any pressure on that ankle made me believe that he could be out for some time here. And thankfully, it looks like that is not the case. It looks like he will be available to play, potentially, most likely, will be available to play against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the injury is not as bad as we first anticipated. Now, you could call it the young man's ankles, whatever the case may be. You know, young individuals tend to heal a little bit quicker than some of the older guys in the league. That is just, it is what it is. That's just how the human body works, I guess. So maybe he could take it. Maybe he'll be available to play. Whatever the case may be, I'm very happy that Dalonte Terry can play. He might not be the most prolific scorer you've ever seen on this Bulls bench, but he does provide a lot of the energy defensively. He's good in transition. He can play make from time to time. He's a nice addition to have, especially if you just need that extra spark plug in the team to kind of lift up the spirits. I think Dalonte Terry is very good at that. Let's move to Coby White. With an ankle injury, is probable to play against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now again, he was also listed as questionable to play against the Kings, and Coby White played against the Sacramento Kings. So we're taking it a little bit step closer now. He's probable to play, which means he's more likely to play, and I do fully expect him to play against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think it's good for these players to kind of know that there's not a back-to-back in their future at the moment. You know, they're going to have a couple of days break. After this Timberwolves game, they will have a couple of days break, and then they'll be facing who are we facing? I don't even remember who we're facing, but we're facing someone. The Memphis Grizzlies, that's who we're facing. And then after that, you got a couple days break and you're versing the Orlando Magic. There's not really a back-to-back to worry about for these guys. So they can run the risk of kind of playing this game and see what ends up happening. And that's how I view Coby White and what he's able to bring to this game against the Timberwolves. I do expect him to play. Then we've got, of course, Alex Caruso. If you guys didn't see the last game that he played, he pretty much gave his life to go and save a loose ball, and you could tell that he got hurt in that sequence. Caruso is listed as questionable to play against the Timberwolves with a left abductor strain. This hurts, ladies and gentlemen, because Alex Caruso is our best defender, and again, I'm all over the place. Minnesota ain't no joke. They're not a joke. They are first in the Western Conference, or up there in the Western Conference, for a reason. And that is because they provide massive scoring threats, and they also have a good, solid defensive foundation as well, with guys like Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert in the lineup. So they are a balancing nightmare. It's going to be hard for the Bulls to adjust to this game. The size issues will be a big problem. The offensive issues will be a big problem. And their defense will be a big problem as well. Now, it's something we're going to have to wait and see about. Do I give the Bulls a chance to win this game? Absolutely. I do think the Bulls can do well at home. I do think the Bulls can beat any team at home when they put their minds to it. And if we play the right way, team basketball, I do think we could, for example, go out in transition. And we could get Minnesota from there. They play a very big lineup. You could outrun the Minnesota Timberwolves, I believe. I really do believe that. But it's not going to be easy because they provide so many threats all around the floor on both ends of the ball that it's going to be a matchup nightmare for the Chicago Bulls. And to not have your best defender there, potentially 50-50 chance he may play or may not play, that will hurt this Bulls team. That will give us a lot less of a likelihood to win the game, because Alex Caruso is kind of that glue guy where he's not the best player on the Bulls team. He's not the best offensive player. He is the best defensive player. But whatever the case may be, he's a guy that could connect the team and bring the energy up again, make everybody raise their level up on the defensive end. And that is something we will sorely miss with no Alex Caruso. So that's going to be a tough challenge. We'll wait and see how the Bulls go. But what do you guys think? And thank you so much for watching. Drop a like and a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. I will see you in the next Chicago Bulls related video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.